Hi, this is Noreen from Handmade at Home in Katherine, the Northern Territory, Australia. Today we're going to be using a recipe from Aussie Soap Supplies, and we're going to be making milk chocolate bath milk. So the first thing we're going to do is, I've got a bowl in front of me, and it does look a little bit dirty, but it's not. I've just used it to measure all my ingredients in. But I'm going to move that away for a second. The first thing we're going to do is get our fragrance oil. And I've used a hot cocoa fragrance and a Natrasorb. Now, Natrasorb is a product that basically absorbs the fragrance oil. So what we're going to do is just pour our fragrance oil into our Natrasorb, and we're going to mix it until it resembles something like fine breadcrumbs. So I'm going to pause you here, and then I'll just keep mixing, and I'll come back to you as soon as I've finished that. Okay, I'm back. So you can see that I've just mixed that, and it's sort of glumped together a smidgen. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to put that to the side for the moment. Next thing I'm going to do is get my bowl, and I've just got here just a fine metal sieve, and starting with the SLSA, which is a foaming agent, I'm just going to sieve everything through. Now you see the SLSA lets off a lot of powder. It's very light, so you just want to be super careful and wear a dust mask with this. Now, I just stopped the video. For the purpose of this video, I didn't wear a dust mask because my voice would get muffled. So I had a little bit of a coughing fit, so please make sure you do wear your dust masks. Next I'm going to add some bicarb soda, and again put it through the sieve to get rid of all those little lumps. Then I've got some citric acid. And now I've got some buttermilk powder, and I'm just going to sieve this in a couple of different batches because I've only got a small sieve. And again, oops, we're just getting those lumps out. A little bit enthusiastic. And last little bit. Now the last thing that we're going to add is some cocoa powder. I'm just using something that I got from the supermarket. And you're going to need 1/4 cup. It's between 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup. So, depending on how strong your cocoa powder is. Again, get rid of all the lumps. Okay. So now we just get to gently mix it together. Making sure that you incorporate all the ingredients. Try and be careful not to get that SLSA too dusty either, so you don't want to be breathing that in again. Scrape down to the bottom, get all those ingredients. Now if you're wondering why you start with the SLSA, It's because you want to put the heavier items on top so it doesn't puff everywhere. Just get rid of that little buttermilk. So stir, stir. Oh, this is smelling good already. Now I'm just going to keep stirring until basically I scoop down to the bottom and no more white comes up. So I want to make sure that I've really got everything incorporated. It looks like we're just about there. So the next thing we're going to do is add our Natrasorb with the absorbed fragrance oil. And just like before, we're just going to stir all of that in. Now this could take a little while, so I'm just going to pause you and then I'll be back once I've stirred it all in. Okay, so I've stirred and stirred until there are only, well, there are actually no lumps, but it does clump a little bit because of the moisture in the fragrance oil, but that's okay. So you can see how it's just holding its shape because of that tiny little bit of moisture, but as soon as you touch those clumps, they just disappear. So they're not actually clumps, in my opinion, because they're not hard, they're not yucky. As soon as they hit water, they're going to disappear. So now we're ready for packaging. Now, I like to package this into little stand-up pouches, and there's enough here for 3 pouches and a little bit of a sniff sampler for people.